Let's take a closer look at the macrophage response. As seen here, rat monocytes are introduced to conventional hydrophobic peak on the left and negatively charged hydrophilic ZFUZE composite on the right. The monocytes initially signal the M1 phenotype, commensurate with normal wound healing and the routine initial inflammatory response to wound or injury. The immune system recognizes hydrophobic materials as foreign contamination since native surfaces within the body are hydrophilic. At day 4, a sudden and drastic shift to an M2 phenotype was observed on the ZFUZE surface. The M2 phenotype signals for anti-inflammatory and cellular repair cytokines such as interleukin-10 and interleukin-12. IL-10 and IL-12 contribute to the maintenance of bone mass through inhibition of osteoclastic bone resorption and upregulation of osteoblastic bone formation. Contrarily, the inert hydrophobic surface of peak demonstrated a prolonged M1 inflammatory response along with protracted increases in IL-1 beta and IL-6 cytokines, which are known to contribute to vascularized fibrosis or walling off of a foreign body or implant deemed to be not self or dangerous to the immune system because of its hydrophobic nature. With over 300 biomaterials tested using the same M1 to M2 immunomodulation assays, ZFUZE was the first and only man-made material that consistently demonstrated the ability to shift the M1 to M2 phenotype in a rapid and predictable manner.
Well, the whole M1, M2 story is interesting from a scientific or academic standpoint, but the real relevance comes in what does that mean from a clinical outcome standpoint. And the simple answer is that the more robust and the prolonged that the M1 pro-inflammatory response exists, the more fibrous tissue and dense scar tissue is going to accumulate at the site. What one would really like is a rapid transition from the pro-inflammatory M1 phenotype to the M2 phenotype, which would then minimize fibrosis and facilitate the deposition of site-appropriate types of tissues. By site-appropriate, I mean wherever the implant is placed, the types of tissues that are normally there are the types of tissue that would then be deposited over time.
The extremely hydrophilic surface of ZFUZE alters the surface charge on the implant, resulting in a negative ionic charge. This creates an ideal environment upon implantation to immediately attract and adhere the required precursor proteins for bone growth to the implant surface. The rapid shift at day 4 to M2 macrophage phenotype signals the start of the healing process via early osteoblast proliferation and increased adhesion, accelerating osteogenesis and ultimately supporting long-term osseointegration. Recent results from 2 animal studies provide further support for the immune response and osseointegration findings with ZFUZE.